admirable. But as I've learned from my work of 3 decades, the idea business is a tough one, from start to finish. It's difficult to develop an idea, and harder to express it well. It's tough to get people simply to hear your idea, and harder still to enable them to understand it in ways that come close to your intended meaning. To cause others to incorporate your idea into their thinking stream? Challenging. To change their behavior, even in small ways? Daunting. To make a difference, start a movement, change the world? Hard, harder, hardest. And yet people accomplish all these things, to a greater or lesser degree, and with smaller or larger numbers of people, more often and more successfully than you might think. My purpose. How the idea entrepreneur goes public, breaks out and achieves influence, and how you can too, is the subject of this book. I am not so much concerned with how to generate ideas, because that is typically not the idea entrepreneur's problem. They usually have an idea, or the makings of one, but are uncertain how to express, go public, and gain influence with it. Besides, there is plenty of good content available elsewhere on the topics of creativity, idea generation, and innovation. Nor do I go very deeply into the tactical aspects of breaking out, such as how to put together a sequenced program of activities. When do I start tweeting? How much content should I give away? Or technical questions, such as the advantages and disadvantages of self-publishing. That's because there is no template. All these matters change rapidly, and every case is different. It would be better for you to talk with experts on this, or to catch up with the current thinking available in content venues that, unlike books, do not take a year or two, or more, to create. Finally, I don't go deeply into the financial aspects of idea entrepreneurship in this book. That is, how to monetize an idea, or create profit from it. That's primarily because making money is not the main goal of the idea entrepreneur. They want to gain influence, change thinking, affect behavior. And they can do these things without earning much, if any, money. However, many idea entrepreneurs make lots of money, into the millions, even if they do not earn on the scale of business tycoons and superstar entertainers. What do I talk about? The essential elements that go into forming an idea. What is needed to take an idea public? How ideas and idea entrepreneurs fare in the ideaplex. How and why ideas break out from others. How they influence thinking and affect behavior. How ideas and their creators fit into larger societal thinking streams. Genesis. Before I get into all of those things, however, let me say that not everyone with an idea wants to or should break out, which is just as well given that we have an idea glut. And I offer my father as an example. Dad was an electrical engineer who spent his career at Lincoln Laboratory, an MIT research and development center not far from Boston. Inside and outside the lab, Dad was constantly coming up with ideas for how the world could be improved in one way or another. In the 1960s, Dad became fascinated with solar power and the need for renewable energy sources. To express his fascination and put it into practice, he built a rudimentary sun-powered water heater, a rectangular box, perhaps 3 feet wide by 8 feet long, painted black on the inside, through which he ran several switchbacks of copper water pipe, and mounted it on the roof of our summer cottage, then hooked it up to the outdoor shower. On a sunny day, it warmed enough water for a pretty good wedding. The solar heater got people talking, but I didn't notice anyone else putting one on their roof, at least not then. Dad continued to be fascinated by renewable energy issues throughout his life. When he was in his 80s, he would regularly join my wife, Nancy, and me for Sunday dinner, and more often than not, he had a new idea he wanted to run by us. One of them involved a plan for replacing conventional light bulbs with strobe lights, which he argued would save huge amounts of energy, and thanks to the persistence of human vision, would not affect the quality of illumination we experienced. He seemed so taken by the idea that I asked if he wanted to develop it further, or perhaps write about it. "No," he said with a sigh and a smile. "I just like talking about it." Life at the front end. In addition to the insights I drew from my father,